What's up? My name is Colby, fifth grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where I try to help kids fall in love with reading. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you, I think it's 8 picture books that I read aloud to my 5th graders last month. I'm so excited to share these books with you. And one of the reasons that I love making these videos so much is so often on this channel, it's always about new books. And I don't get a chance to talk about some of my favorites. And what's one of the things that's also awesome about being a 5th grade teacher is that so often books that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are new to the readers that I serve. So I get to talk to them about some of my favorites and they're brand new to them and it makes me so happy. So today we're talking about 8 awesome picture books that I read aloud to my students. Up first, we have John Sheska, Mac Barnett, and Matthew Meyer's Battle Bunny. You can see this kind of has the feel of a little golden book. This book came out a handful of years ago. And it's originally, they made it like an original like birthday bunny. One of those like, traditional little golden books about a little, rabbit, celebrating a birthday. But then they just took it. This is how the original book would look. And then they just took it and made it into something bonkers. And kids, my 5th graders, or whatever grade that I've been teaching when this book has been out, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they're blown away because they've never seen anything like this and they instantly want to create something like it and just destroy a book in their own way and make it fun. So if you haven't read Battle Bunny, it really sparks those creative juices and it's just such a fun and wild book. It's so wild and weird. And I love wild and weird. Now, this is a brand new book, actually. There's no such thing as vegetables from Kyle and Andrea. And this kid, what's his name? He's got to go, Chester's got to go get some vegetables to make dinner. Mom sends him to get some vegetables. And the vegetables are these things here. They're like, we're not vegetables. We're flowers and roots and leaves. And we're not vegetables though. So you are out of luck because you're supposed to get vegetables and none of us are vegetables. It's hilarious. Helps us to think about how we categorize things, how we put things into little boxes. And it just makes us laugh. And it's just picture book magic. There's no such thing as vegetables. Brand new. Check it out. And next up, a classic. My friend Jerry Kraft, the author of the Newbery Medal winning book, New Kid, introduced me to Eric's book, Octopus Stew, which is just such a celebration of families telling stories to each other. Stories getting passed down and told around the dinner table about this boy and his mom going to get an octopus for octopus stew, and then the octopus comes alive. It's amazing. There's this beautiful gatefold where the pages open up in this book that you must check out. It's just awesome. They're not even making words. In January, the Caldecott Committee announced winners, and I hadn't read this book, The Truth About Dragons, so I got it, of course, and then I read it to my 5th graders. Of course, look at that. It's just easy to see why this is a book that the Caldecott Committee would want us to experience and celebrate. It's really beautiful. So if you're looking for the truth about dragons, and you can see some different truths about dragons in this book, check it out. It's phenomenal. So glad I read it. This is probably one of my favorite picture books of 2023. I think it's a 2023 book, Like Lava in My Veins. When I read this book to last year's class, they were like, what in the world is that? Holy smokes, that was phenomenal. Because it's got this comic superhero feel to it in the confines of a picture book. Look at that, right? So yeah, they couldn't get enough of it. It's awesome. It's a wonderful story about this kid and his powers and fight for good against evil and what is good and what is evil. It's just awesome. So check out Like Lava in My Veins if you're looking for an awesome picture book and one that's really fun to share with kids. Another brand new picture book, Tashas Voice. I think my kids really liked Tasha. And, going on this field trip, Tasha's not really feeling like she fits in, not really getting along or, knowing the kids at school very well. But then they go and they get into nature and she kind of finds herself and finds some friends. It's just awesome. It's really beautiful and unique illustrations. I thought they were really fun. The reason, usually I talk about 10 books in these videos, but I'm only talking about 8 this video because so many of the books that I read to my kids during the month were Philip C. Stead books because Philip Stead visited our school. It was a phenomenal author visit. Absolutely absolutely unforgettable, had a blast, the kids had a blast. He was so captivating and he did a great job of talking about his art He also talked about his wife Erin's art, who Erin won the Caldecott Medal for their book, A Sick Day for Amos McGee. And he talked about the process and the art in Matthew Cordell's books, who has written some books that Philip has authored. And we, of course, read Home from Bird, Lenny, and Lucy, Special Delivery, so many of Philip's books. And what's really cool to look at Philip's books after having him visit your school is he talks about how he uses like different styles of art in all of his books and how hard he tries to work to figure out what type of art or mixing different mediums it's going to take for the different books. And this was one that he talked to. He talked about this took him 6 years to kind of figure out this book. And looking at it after hearing him talk about it, it's just even more magical. Finally, this book, Empty in Me, it's a book that was translated from a different language, and it's really a powerful book about a child who's dealing with grief of, this was the last picture of her mother that was taken, of the last plant they planted together because her mother died and Empty took her mother's place. And it's just a beautiful and powerful story of a kid dealing with grief and kind of trying to figure out life after this tragic event. Pretty silent in here when I read this book, but an absolute wonderful book. So those are some of the books that I read to my fifth graders last month. I hope you found a book that you love on the list and maybe a book that you will love after you read it. So check some of those books out. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found something awesome. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome-tastic